Yes, welcome back to the Sports Show. Time to turn our attention to boxing. Big weekend coming up in boxing. So we've got Phillip who's one of the great men of boxing in Australia, knows all about it, and Callum, who is one of the up-and-coming superstars of boxing here in South Australia. Let's start with you first. Phil, welcome. Thanks for coming in, mate.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Let's talk about the Futures program, because it seems to be motoring along pretty nicely with boxing at the moment.
Absolutely. It's one of the best programs Boxing Australia has brought into play. National Future Coach Jamie Pittman's doing a fantastic job leading the way, and we have 6 regional future coaches throughout Australia that cover off on the stage. So like myself, I do South Australia and NT, and there's another coach that does ACT in Tasmania, and then each other individual state has their own futures coach. So we coordinate all the activities with the youth and juniors and make sure that we have regular training days and put it together nicely so all those athletes have got a chance to move into the high performance programs later down the track once they transition from youth to elite, basically. So it's a wonderful program, lots of education, and certainly a good lead into high performance boxing.
How long has this future program been in boxing in Australia?
Probably this is the second year it's been running. It's been kindly funded by the Commonwealth Games Association, and I think going forward the Sports Commission will probably put a bit of funding into it as well because it's been so successful. So it's been going this is our second year.
It's produced already, hasn't it? It's done well, because I see boxing now as up there the equivalent of the UFC, Phil, which really just took the world by storm in a way, and sort of boxing looked to me like it took a back seat. But right now, in every division you can find in boxing, there is a gun. There is an out-and-out gun, and you see that. You see, and in Australia in particular as well, we've got some great fighters coming up as well.
Absolutely. Look, a lot of those up-and-coming fighters have come through the amateur system and through high-performance systems. We have some outstanding athletes that have gone from the amateurs into the pros, and we've got 2 boxing tonight. Jeff Horn and Tim Zhu is a classic example. Yeah. And people like Callum here is an outstanding athlete himself, is a fine example of what the Futures program's doing for our young athletes. Basically, it's certainly giving them a lead into having the best opportunity to represent their country and become world champions.
Yeah.
So Callum, last year you won the 69 kilo title, mate. You're the best boxer last year. You've bounced up a little bit this year, and you've got a big bout coming up on the weekend, mate. How's your progress?
Oh, good. Just do training and that throughout COVID, and it's been a little bit hard, but just do training hard. And this fight this weekend, I cannot wait. It's going to be heaps fun.
I don't know how you can say it's heaps of fun. Mate, let's talk about each boxer normally has something in their craft that their weapon, let's call it the weapon for you, mate. Now, I understand you've got the Callum uppercut, mate. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Oh, the Callum's uppercut, it's more a defensive move, like counter.
Sneaky one.
Yeah, sneaky one. Knowing what the boxer is, feeling. Do a little angle shot, boom, right. Do another one, boom.
Yeah, I can't see why you wouldn't be having fun with that, honestly. The other bloke's getting the bejeebers punched out of you, mate. I was going to say that. How'd you get into boxing?
Oh, well, I used to be overweight, I was a chubby kid when I was young. I started somewhere around when I was 10, I think, and I've been doing boxing nearly 8 years. So my dad got me into it, and I started getting into it, just losing weight, fitness. Then over time, I started this is really good, I really like it. Oh, I feel amazing. And then started do competition. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try that out. Started doing it, and I was really at the start I wasn't, I lost my first fight, but over time, started getting really better. I'm like, oh yeah, boom, 50 cal.
Phillip, he's got a big fight on the weekend, isn't he? He's got a serious fight, and there's a serious competition on the weekend too. You want to tell us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. We've got 26 bouts on Saturday night at the Dom Polski. Unfortunately, we're limited to numbers of the crowd that can turn up, but we are live streaming, so people will have an opportunity to pay for view on the competition.
Yeah.
And this man here is going to be a feature bout with the current Australian middleweight elite champion, Adrian Camarado, who lives in South Australia as well. So we've got 2 of the best boxers in Australia matching up against each other, and it's going to be a cracker. And unfortunately, I can't give you my thoughts on who I think might win this one, but I can tell you the public's going to win because it's going to be a cracking bout.
What do you think, Callum, about the fight? You would have studied. You do study the guy you're going to fight. You have a good look at him and see where he moves, how he goes, and whatever. Most fighters would do that.
Yeah, definitely. Like Adrian's a good fighter. He fought for the Worlds, Phil, is that it?
Yeah, he went to the World Championships last year, yes.
Yeah, go and watch a bit of his fights, what he did in there and that. See what, like, the southpaw, orthodox, what kind of combination he likes to chuck, what he likes to do for his defensives. And just watching him, I was like, okay, this is going to be a really good fight for me and him and for the crowd that everyone will see.
Yeah. Mate, can I ask you this? I love this part of it, Phil. When you meet at centre ring with the ref, and there he is, he's already had a word to you in the room, and now there you are, face to face. Are you a starer? Do you stare at him, or do you look somewhere else? Because a lot of the fighters are different. A lot of guys like to have get that mean look and whatever. I'm about to punch your lights out. What do you like? You relaxed or?
Well, like, I get nervous getting in the ring, but when I get in the ring, it's like a home for me and him, like, it's like a handshake, boom, we're ready to box on, eye contact, smile, rock on.
Yeah. I reckon that'll be worse than
Got a bit of Usain Bolt in him, hasn't he? Give you a smile before I beat you. Yeah, I like that, mate. Hey, Phil, just before we let you go, mate, the world of boxing, I've touched on it, has grown a lot. I mean, a big fight coming up tonight, of course, with Tazoo and Horn.
Yes.
You've seen them both fight. Which way do you see it going?
I have a bit of a sentimental spot for both of them, but watching him over the years. But I think I'll have to go with Sue on his technical side of the way he boxes and that. But you just never know. Horn's a tough, rugged boxer.
And he's awkward, mate, isn't he?
He's awkward, yeah, and he can punch too. So it will be one of those fights. The right tactics will win, and the person that wins the first up the round will be interesting.
That fight with Zarefa, just quickly, the last fight Horn had, Zarefa 2,
yep.
That punch came from nowhere, didn't it? That wasn't a regulation, what would you call it, technical right hand. It just came from nowhere. Bang.
Absolutely, and that's how he trains and that's how he fights. You just never know where the next punch is coming from, and that's what might catch Zoo off guard. It'll be an interesting bout. I've certainly logged on already and got it booked to watch tonight.
Well, if you had a Callum uppercut, we'd know how to take him. Hey, good luck on the weekend, Callum. Hope it's a ripping fight for you on Saturday. We look forward to catching up with you and hearing about it, mate, in the next couple of weeks. So appreciate you coming in, boys. Stay with us. Still a bit more to come.